All right, so this video I'm making right now is what actually happens when you are smarter than a lot of people and these people know it. My IQ is extremely high. Once again, while I'm making this video, if you put anything rude in the comments, I should let you know TikTok community guidelines, you're going to be violated because I have the anti-bullying protection on. If you put anything that TikTok detects, it's going to delete your comment. I'm not even going to see it. And if I detect it, all I have to do is simply report you to TikTok and then block your profile. And that comment will disappear with a strike for you. Like I've done to numerous people. I've done this to over 6 people already. And every single one of those violations went through because they decided to say something on my profile that was not appropriate at all. So that being said, um, 20 years ago, before I had my veterans disability pay, I used to be a fuel specialist in the army. So I got out of the army after a little bit. I started security and then I had a brief stint and from 2003 to 2004, actually 2004 to 2005, sorry, at the airport fueling airplanes. I went from fueling helicopters to fueling airplanes. And this company didn't like me, boy. I lasted 12 months and the whole 12 months they made my life miserable. That's why I left and moved on to other things because the way the army trained me, when the fuel gauge is fluctuating, is more than likely the water and the sediment that settles at the bottom, right? So let me explain this to you. If you ever fuel aircraft, do not fucking forge the fucking numbers because if anything happens, that shit's gonna come back and 100% bite you in the ass. So I couldn't get an accurate reading on this gauge, right? Because the numbers are going up and down, up and down, up and down. Not to mention, if you fuck up and fudge the numbers, when you try to do the math to calculate from gallons to pounds or pounds to gallons, it's not going to calculate. The shit's going to be fucked up and off. And then the operations manager is going to pull what should have been in that aircraft and do the calculations himself based on what was ordered and what should have been in the tanks when they do the calculations and do the conversion from pounds to gallons. If the numbers are wrong, the math, you will not be able to complete the math at all. The numbers will not calculate. So that being said, I called the mechanic. I said, "Can you look at this thing?" And I recommended to the mechanic, "Can you please?" I know this is just a recommendation, sir. Can you please take this plane out of service? And I knew the company was going to give me shit for it, but he agreed because I can't fuel this. I can't fuel this aircraft. So the main thing with this company is do not get any delays. A delay is bad because it goes against the company, right? Sure enough, the airplane gets delayed. I got my ass ripped, but you know what? They couldn't write me up or they couldn't do nothing to me. I looked at him and I smiled and I explained myself to him about the water and the sediment. Couldn't get an accurate read, and I told him, I said, can you justify fudging the numbers? Can you justify falsifying that paperwork and making those numbers work? Or you want to put some BS on there, and when the pilot reads it, he can't sign off on it because what's on the paperwork is some bullshit. Either way, that plane is going to get delayed, or somebody's going to get fired for fudging the paperwork. If anything happens to that aircraft, they're going to try to find out what was in that fuel tank, or what they're going to find out exactly what happened to that airplane with that black box and all the gizmos they got in there. Right? There's a reason why that plane cost multiple millions of dollars. And that's just going to come back and bite the fuel person in the ass when they do find out what this fuel person did. And then they're going to look at the paperwork and be like, well, what the hell did you do with this? So I was like, you know what? I ain't trying to freaking get myself in trouble and jeopardize public safety. So I'd rather take a delay and save these people and put them on a different plane than risk their lives over some bullshit. I was not about to risk human life over the fucking company bullshit. At that point, I was like, fire my ass. I don't give a fuck. Because I was just like, really? Um, so when you're smarter than a lot of people, this is the shit that happens. I'm out of here.